Okay, so we're sitting in Huruma within Nairobi, Kenya, and we would call this as a slum. And in our thinking, a slum is where extreme poverty exists. Sociologists define extreme poverty as people not having the basic needs for survival. Food, drinking water, education, healthcare. That within Huruma, this would be classed as a place of extreme poverty. Are they right?
I think based on the fact that define poverty in terms of poor infrastructure, lack of education, that description befits Huruma. I think the standard of every other basic thing that we're supposed to have in our community is as low compared to other areas. So that simply makes Huruma a slum in its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does a place like Huruma get to become a slum? I mean, why is there a lack of food, no drinking water? Because that's not the case for Nairobi. Like in 5 miles from here, there's drinkable water, there's education, there's healthcare. Not everybody in Nairobi lives like that there, so how does it end up being extreme poverty?
Being that Huruma is within Nairobi and adjacent to the far ends of Nairobi, where most slums are, I think the reason mostly is because the government system as a way of neglecting some areas in terms of development. So this has been resulted by influx of people from the rural area coming to the urban setup, looking for places to settle, houses that are cheaper, areas that they can afford the food and the standard of living. So many people coming who don't have work, who still want a place where they can earn, they can afford the rental houses and afford the food, then prefer to come to places like Huruma. So this is a result of poor planning of the government, people wanting to look for cheaper places to stay, maybe accessibility as well. As much as it's within Nairobi, they still prefer staying. And as a result of that, because the influx of people come in that community like Huruma, many people reside here, and that has caused the breakdown of system, like poor sewerage system, poor roads.
Okay, so to describe what poverty is poverty is not a cause. Like 25,000 people dying of hunger-related diseases every day, I would say is not a cause, it is a crime. So, would you agree that as you live in poverty, you would see it as this is actually a criminal act, that this is just wrong?
Yeah, I think living in poverty is a crime. It's wrong because everybody has a right to education. We have a right to good health from the government. They're supposed to provide this for us. So it is like we feel like they are not reaching the people in the slums. Yeah.
So if it's a crime, who should be prosecuted?
The government. It's like the government is not doing their duty. They are not doing the duty of taking care of every child in the country, every individual, because everybody has a right to live and live comfortably.
So some people would say that poverty is a crime, therefore it becomes a justice issue. It's really a human rights issue.
Yes.
Would you agree with that there?
Yeah. Yeah, we agree that.
It's human rights.
Yeah.
So when you say then that it's the government's fault, only the government's fault, or is it the rest of the world's fault? Like, do the people in America have a responsibility to the people in Kenya who are poor?
They have. I feel like they also have responsibility because God have blessed them. They are far much superior than the African continent, so it's like we need their help. If they can come in and assist us, we can also show progress by popping in and seeing how we can help each other. Yeah, they can also bring in technology and help us.
If it's a human rights issue, and what sociologists say, when it is a human rights issue, there's a denial of the reality that all people are created equal. Do you think that you are equal to me as an American, me as a Westerner?
On equality, biblically we believe that as human beings we are all equal. But the fact of the matter is you find that all of us are not equal. Like you'll find that the Americans are not equal to the people living in slums in Kenya. They're like far much ahead, and the people living in slums are different. So there is no equality. There is no equality. But we believe that there should be equality, but it is not there.
So that would mean then that it's not just the Kenyan government's problem, it is actually a global problem, that people who have do not treat people who don't have as equals.
Yeah, the haves will always continue to be the haves. That is in Kenyan view. And the don't haves will always remain the don't haves. That is like there is a neglect on those who do not have. And then it brings the issue of inequality.